Junkin' Fool over here in Porterville. I got some new parts for the wheel loader. So, this Fiber King gear, I guess, is $3.99, and this seal is $63.58. $4.62. This is, don't know what it weighed, but I know what I paid. $18.20 for freight. Of course, government got $27.75. $508.53 for them bolts. They threw in new bolts, which I noticed these bolts. I had them out and counted them, but they got like the Loctite made right into the threads. They got a couple spots of Loctite, and I think they gave me a washer extra. This seal right here in brace or whatever they call that is 63.58. So there's the ring gear, or the gear, fiber gear, and here's the new one. They threw one of these in, and the bolts, so hey, maybe that's stainless steel. I got the old one. I'll get about 50 cents out of it. Yeah, you can see how much this thing's wore. I'm right in the sun, so I can't see. Yep, that fiber is so, you got to pull this apart probably every 10 years, and actually had a date of 05, so I think this was replaced in 05, and this is probably a 70s machine. But that thing was $399, made out of fiber. What can you do? So that goes right around this bell housing here. This cable's $360, but they said they can make me one of them for save me some money. But I'm still tracing down the I had this up there to grab the grease. It didn't fall. That gear rides right on there. Had that up there to grab the grease so it wasn't falling behind the torque converter. This is a greasy mess. But yeah, anyway, actually these parts all come in today. The guy stopped out here, the FedEx truck, and I go out there and he's digging around through boxes, and he's digging around, and he says, that's supposed to be on the truck. And my neighbor about 3 miles away, he said, I'll have to look. He said, must got put on a different truck. I'll bring it back tomorrow. Neighbor about 3 miles away called me up, left a message. Said, hey, I got a package down here for you. Why they delivered it to him, I have no idea. Name's totally different. Address, road. So anyway, I went down there and got it. And I had a guy coming on this welder that we just put on the computer. It wasn't running. It would run. It needed a little bit of work, but sold that. So that was a pretty good thing. I loaded him up, and I actually gave him some parts off the other welder to finalize the deal. So now I got a couple of these things. Actually sold it for $9.50. Better than scrapping it. Scrapping it would have been $75-80. So yeah, anyway, Junkin' Fool over here in Porterville. So the project for today, I've been cleaning on this motor, and I want to get it. I'm debating if I'm going to paint it. I probably will. Put some grease around there and cleaning it all up. I'm going to do a lot more, but now I might go ahead and paint it up, make it look all party. The rags in there to keep the grease out, and getting in the cylinders and what have you. So not going to get real carried away, but I want to clean it all up. You never know, I may decide to sell it. That motor's a good motor. These motors are I see them on eBay for $2,500, but this one's got the rebuilt injector pump on it. That's oven cleaner. Boy, that really made that look funny on that aluminum. Just noticed that. And this piece right here come with that seal that's got to be replaced. You take that, tap that off there. I got to double check, make sure I'm doing that right when I do it. So, it's getting cleaned up. I may have to try the power washer. My well's a little weak here, but so yeah, anyway, take a stroll out back real quick, and the guy who was wanting to buy I brought some tools, pulled some parts off that other old scrap welder, gave him the gas tank and like a couple shrouds to it, and told him I think I was going to keep that motor, but I told him, I said, if you want to buy it, make me an offer, we'd work something out on it. Told him I might have it running. He said he's interested, so didn't really give it into the prices. I have to think about it. Yeah, it didn't take too long. Fired up the backhoe and loaded it up. I had to put some fuel in that, which I actually got out of that tank I bought at the auction. I thought I may as well use that fuel oil up instead of trying to wrestle that thing around with fuel oil all over it. Yeah, make it a lot lighter anyway. Too many projects, but if you keep picking up enough junk, some of it's going to be good and you can sell some of it. So he actually made it easier for me too. The whole front panel there, and the gas tank, and a couple little flippers there. He said he'd buy that motor, but I was trying to figure out why I couldn't get this generator to separate from the block. And he tells me you pull this nut here off. And he said it's a little tricky, but he said that whole generator will slide out and there'll be a big shaft on the end of it. So I'm going to have to try that. I actually had that turning before, spinning it over with my big 3/4 inch drive snap-on impact. It's getting lighter already, so price is right. I'd sell that motor. I'm thinking if I get it run, probably 400, 500 bucks. Just because they're pretty cool, old flathead 4-cylinder. I'm not sure what kind it is. Probably know if I remember, but I guess whatever I can get out of it. This is Junket Pool walking over here in Porterville. That was pretty good selling the welder. I actually bought 2 of them, paid $150 and drug them home, and just sold that one with them few parts for $9.50. So there's money in junk. Don't mean it has to go to the junkyard, but when the prices are low, you got to figure out something to do to make a few bucks, especially when you live in Porterville. The old backhoe fired up with that fuel oil. That was right out of fuel. I put some in it yesterday, knowing this guy was coming today. That's another thing, trying to get rid of these projects. I'll still pick them up, but usually when I put stuff on the computer, it's stuff that people are looking for a lot of times, so don't really have to wait too long. There is the garden. I don't know what all's in there. I know there's some radishes in there. Potatoes there. Weeds around it. Weeds probably in it. Don's sitting here. But yeah, them guys, they don't mess around when they charge you for them parts, but I checked all over for that part. And the guys over there at the yard over here told me about the yard up there, because they brought this over here for me, and he told me to when he first brought it over. There's a yard up north, and I called them. They didn't have the bell housing, but that's who shipped me the parts. So have a few connections here and there. There's Junk and Fool over here in Porterville. Thought I'd do a quick video, and that's where all my money goes for now, is into this thing until we get her going. Got to keep on selling to be able to buy stuff, I guess. So thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Go find some junk. Goodbye.